And are we live? Yes. Excellent connection. Beautiful. Let's
I have
grab that
several
link.
cases of poison in my lungs.
Oh, who did you piss off now, Aichi?
Oh, gosh.
Alright.
I was going to say a little bit. Oh, I've got a bunch of poison. I'm going to use it against someone. Yes.
Now let me at
Poison.
Notification King.
Yeah, all I'm missing about the lines is just calling, like, Canada bitch or something. Then that would be perfect, Aichi.
Mm-hmm. Totally would be.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about how much shit has happened since we began Tsubaki's route? Like, fuck
Yeah,
me.
It
is
painful.
wild how much stuff happened last time.
We have exceeded part 10.
Yeah, this
It
is
glorious.
11. Episode
Yes.
11.
Yes.
And episode 2, where we're on Tsubaki's route.
Do you know what, I wish Ben 10 did?
What's that?
Like, you know how they had, like, the characters on, like, they had, like, Ben Tennyson, Kevin 11.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
Kevin 11 for 11.
That's funny.
I want there to be a character that's just, like, John 12.
I have a feeling it would be at least a little inspired by JonTron. John 12.
Yes,
That's funny.
He's just like, he's just like it's just like compared to like Ben 10. He's like he doesn't have an Omnitrix. He hasn't got powers. He works at like Subway.
Uh-huh. That is pretty funny.
John 12 going at it, making those subs. 6-inch, foot long, yeah.
Good shit.
John 12, yeah.
How's it going in the chat, Cyril Kids?
Melting the cheese.
We are just currently goofing off while we send out links and shit.
It's just like shredding guitar.
But yeah, dude,
while,
if you think I should play one of the Witcher games, comment it on that post that I made yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll put it on right now.
Yeah, I put a link to the post in my descriptions. Because I'm going to be gathering, requests for that for a couple weeks. And just kind of gauging everyone's reactions to that.
Oh yeah, I requested.
And I'll be including, requests that I have in my stream notes folder. Once, I have an idea of what everyone wants. Struggling on drawing hands. Yeah, I hear hands are difficult to draw for a lot of artists. Bro, I'm just sad now. The next mod video is gonna have to be uploaded in 360p. That is a sad moment.
Dude, I did it. I commented on your post.
Alright. Yeah, any other game requests you guys have, I linked the post in the description, so comment them there. Alright, I'm done sending out links. Been trying to be quick since we're anticipating this to be a bit of a shorter episode of the series.
Yes. Yes.
Since Caleb here's got somebody he's expecting over later today.
Yay. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Yes. You should see my my newest subscription to that post.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll look at it later.
Oh yeah.
Zach says I uploaded it in 720p, but my editing software said we go in 360 today. Did you render it in 720 or did you upload it to the channel in 720? That's what I'm asking, because with what happens, like, when you first upload a video, is that if you upload it in a, like, higher quality, like, 720, 1080, 4K, like, when you first upload it, it uploads two versions. It uploads standard definition, which is, like, 360p, which is why, like, if you're really early to when a video uploads, it's only available in, like, 360p or lower. And then it uploads an HD copy, which takes a lot longer to upload. So, like, yeah, if you ever go into your editing, setting, like, you click edit on a video on YouTube, and it says, you see, like, two little, I almost want to say buttons. One will say SD, and one will say HD. You should look at whether the HD one is still flashing in the editing bay, because if it is, then it means the HD version isn't done uploading yet.
That could be at play here. He could be playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
That could be.
He's doing 360.
Is that game notorious for that? But yeah, I'm just letting you know, Zach. You should check that. Make sure there's an HD copy that's still uploading in, like, the editing settings before you consider re-uploading. Just wanted to let you know, because I know all about that. Trust me. I have had, like, that heart attack before with videos in the past where it's like, shit, why does it only say 360p in the quality settings? But then I started looking into, like, when you clicked on edit your video, there's, those two separate uploads that it does for the video. So yeah, like, when you switch to, like, an HD quality, it's actually loading the high def version. Anyway, let's begin. The temperature was still incredibly cold. The freezing wind was enough to make anyone shiver. Tsubaki and I agreed to meet outside of this gate after school. Yeah, so this is just after... I think this is just after we left her house last night.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the chat, Sanzi boy. It's good to see ya.
Nice. He is finally here.
Yes, finally.
Welcome to hell. We've been having a horrible time. Hurry up and watch the rest of the episode so you bloody catch up.
Yes, for the last 10 episodes.
You need to suffer like we have suffered.
Yes.
Hurry up and catch up. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Sup guys? Pretty freaking cold, huh?
Aichi flew past us in a bad mood, appearing and disappearing as quick as the wind. Well, you'll have a lot of catching up to do in that case if you are the masochistic type. Because we've got 10 more episodes to watch.
Yep.
Aichi-kun is an interesting person, isn't he?
The most villainous character in this series.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, Tsubaki. That's one way to put it. I bet he doesn't find himself that interesting. You need to hit the kindergarten first, right? Yeah. We picked up Hiroaki and headed for her place, but something tells me by his expression we're in for some more stuff from the Azai Corporation.
Horrible stuff.
A strange person? Yep.
Is it Mr. Horse again?
Oh no! No! Mm-hmm. When I was waiting for you, this guy kept staring at me. What guy?
Oof.
Tsubaki might suspect the man to be a child abductor. She's clearly feeling uneasy. Yeah, Sanzi boy, there's probably a lot of missing context for this to make sense. Because trust me, there's a reason she feels that way.
Yeah, you will not understand trivial things like Mr. Horse, Mao, or headaches.
Yeah, trust me, there's a lot of you've got a lot of catching up to do if you want all this to make sense. Yes, Mr. Horse, we're not joking. We're not joking about that, by the way.
And that's more horrible than it seems.
Yes, once you realize what Mr. Horse actually means. Because this is not like some Mr. Cow situation with Sayori. No. This is much darker than that.
Yes, and the word headache fills us with dread now.
Yes. What kind of person was he? He had a bald head, and he was a lot bigger than Oni-chan. Hiroaki pointed at me, then tried to illustrate how big he was by stretching his hands. Did he say anything?
I guess Agent 47 is
He just looked at me. When he heard you guys talking, he left somewhere. Really? Whew, that's a relief. For now. A relief? That man was probably just watching over you. He was? Tsubaki forced a smile and nodded.
Tell him that he would trust him.
However, you must not leave with that person, okay? Okay! Now hurry and go wash your hands. When Hiroaki left, Tsubaki worriedly asked me, "What do you think, Kyousuke-kun?" We will, Sanzi boy. You have a good night.
Thank you, man.
And best of luck with the upload that you and Zach are working on.
Yeah, good luck, and also if you want to check out the series, good luck in catching up because it is a roller coaster when it gets good.
Oh, absolutely.
But see you guys.
This must be another attempt to harass your family. Stalking family members is a common trick amongst those shady underworld types. Oh, what would have happened if I hadn't gone to pick him up? She's obviously a little stressed about this. Yeah, no shit. Anybody would be. Hey, calm down. I don't think things have gotten to the point where they'd abduct him. Really? I'm so worried. She bit her tightened lips as she watched Hiroaki waddle into the house. Alright, let's go to my place. Yeah, sure. She let loose a colorless response. I'll have to catch up. What? You don't want to? I think it's all just setting in for her, everything that's been happening lately. I think she just feels drained.
Yeah.
You know, with everything that she's having to worry about.
Like, she's trying to feel that she's okay, but she isn't. She wants to...
Yeah, she just wants some sense of normalcy again. Especially now that they got the money to pay off that loan.
Look, if anyone's had an emotional roller coaster, it'd be Tsubaki here.
Oh, absolutely. Do you think they'll call us again?
Yes. If not worse.
Will they bring their motorcycles again tonight? Will Hiroaki and the others be okay without me? I know how you must feel right now. I gently put my hand on Tsubaki's shoulder. I want to tell you something, but given the situation, maybe I should wait for another time.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Why don't we talk tomorrow? I ran my fingers through her hair and turned around to leave. Wait a minute. Tsubaki grabbed my sleeve. I'm sorry. I promised, didn't I? No, it's fine. Family comes first. Absolutely does.
Yes.
No, you're no less important, Kyousuke. When I apologized just now, I meant to say that I'm sorry for almost breaking our promise. So, does that mean you're coming, or not? Yeah, I'm coming. You said it was something important, right? Are you sure? I asked with skepticism. Like I said, it can wait for tomorrow. Don't force yourself.
This music is chilling, though.
I have to agree.
Mm.
It'll be alright. Dad's home, and I'm sure they'll call my cell phone if something happens. Alright. Well, let's go. Grabbed Tsubaki's hand and smiled. Despite the frigid winter wind, Tsubaki's hand filled me with warmth. It's so cold. Let's hurry inside. My raw senses began to relax as I crossed the threshold of my warm apartment. What did you want to talk about? Let me take your jacket first. Would you like some coffee? Yes, please. Thank you. I stood in the kitchen, boiling some water. Pot of fresh coffee quickly finished brewing. Tsubaki looked at me as she sipped her coffee gently. I would think something like hot cocoa would be more fitting with weather like this.
Yeah, it would be better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would think so. Since they're talking about how cold outside it is.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been writing in your diary recently? I have. It's mostly been about matters related to you, though. Did the incident yesterday make the cut? That's not something I particularly want to keep close to me, but yes. I guess you write the whole truth down in your diary, whether you want to or not. Naturally. If I didn't, then wouldn't the diary be lying? A lying diary. But, hypothetically, what if the very experiences you believed in were the lie? What would you do?
I like the double meaning to that.
Because, yeah, human memory is a very imperfect thing. So, it's only natural that he would go after that.
Mm.
Facing a question with obviously deeper significance than our previous banter, Tsubaki didn't know how to answer. Thus, she remained silent. In other words, if I had been lying to you, what would you do? You wouldn't lie to me. Her expression was oblivious, like that of a child who thinks she's on the receiving end of a joke.
Oh god, I'm crying. Oh, that's horrible.
It's almost cruel, really.
You don't deserve her, Kyousuke. As much as you're okay, like, fuck.
Hey, Bradley. Good to see ya.
Hey,
He says, I'll be playing some stuff, but watching on the second monitor. I feel like that's what second monitors were made for. But don't you remember? I hid something from you, did I not? Huh? I only just recently told you why I skipped classes so often, right?
Now this just dawned on her.
Oh, that. Hiding something from me isn't really lying, is it? Everyone has things they wish to keep to themselves. Fair point, I guess.
Yeah.
Even you? Sure, even me. Guess, like, the things in my diary, right? Seems my tone has finally made her a bit nervous. Her bright smile is all but gone now. Is there something important you're hiding from me?
Yes.
Many things, in fact.
Yes.
What is it? You can tell me anything. It looks like she's ready for what I have to say. Yeah, for those of you watching this in the future, place your bets now on what you think she's going to say. Or rather, what we're going to tell her. Because you said a fib, I said a fib. Because, yeah. I don't think he's going to give away anything too revealing just yet.
Zach, weren't you going to sleep, you plebeian?
It's probably like me whenever I am quote-unquote going to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
The truth is, Tsubaki, I need your help with a certain matter. It's related to my job. We've run into a roadblock that we're struggling to overcome. If this continues, we could go bankrupt.
No, the choice.
Tsubaki's expression changed immediately. Sleep is for the weak, huh?
Family and him.
Exactly. This assignment is part of a contract with a very large corporation in this city. If I fail to deliver, the company will be in dire straits indeed. Really? Yes, if worst comes to worst, my father and everyone in the company will be homeless. I continued while analyzing Tsubaki's body language. Yep. About how I expected him to phrase the situation that he's facing.
Fake empathy.
Yep, exactly. Because, yeah, you give people enough of a reason to empathize with your cause, they'll get behind it. Oh, he said he's going to be watching on his TV. Nice. So, Bradley isn't the only one that puts me on his TV.
Am I on flat screen?
I'm almost flattered that people will put me on their TVs. That's just crazy to think about to me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting down to the wire, what with the deadline so close. To be honest, we're in deep trouble. So, what's the job? Is there any way I can help? I'll do anything.
She knows.
I've sufficiently worried her as she blurted that out in one breath. What's the job? Paused for a second before continuing. Yep, gotta be careful with how he phrases this. It's related to the development of the Eastern District. Tsubaki looked puzzled. She obviously hasn't figured out the meaning behind those words. Yet.
Yes.
My house is in the Eastern District. Oh, so it's about the construction? My job is to consolidate the land in the area. Consolidate? The farmland there is slated to become a recreational district, complete with resorts and other entertainment infrastructure. So in other words, we need to purchase all the real estate there. Okay. Basically a long-winded way of saying we need to buy your house.
Yes.
Do you still not understand? Maybe later, Zach. Maybe later. Just send me the link on Discord and I'll mess around with it later. Because, like we said at the start of stream, this is expected to be a shorter episode. So I'll have some free time later in the night to give it a try. Even now, Tsubaki doesn't betray my expectations. Her bewildered expression doesn't even bear a hint of distrust toward me. So, what do you need me to do? I'll do anything for you.
That kindness.
As long as I can help, I'm willing to do anything. Do you really mean that? Of course. Her lips pursed tightly together. She nodded. In that case, there is something you could do to help me. The music stopped.
Oh, no.
I kept observing her. I watched on as those trusting eyes rapidly became hollow.
She knows.
Will you move out of that house? Time must have frozen.
This is Mao's theme.
Yup. She stared at me blankly.
Two sides of the same coin.
Soon, well, she kept stuttering, unable to put together a coherent phrase. Kyousuke-kun. Should I interpret that as, I'd like to force you to leave? Force you? Indeed, that's what I'm saying. And this didn't start today or yesterday. In truth, you've been my target since before the kidnapping occurred. Oh, man. I can't tell if this is Kyousuke or Mao speaking.
Yeah.
Because that last line, in truth, you've been my target since before the kidnapping occurred, makes me think that. My mind is entirely numb right now. Only the most spectacular of stupors would allow my heart to suppress my love for Tsubaki and the sadistic delight I get from bullying the weak. Yesterday, I commanded someone to harass your family through disturbing phone calls.
No.
I also called up a local biker gang and sent intimidating men to your doorstep. Okay,
Jesus.
so a little more revealing than I would have thought. But
Jesus.
desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. You remember, he's got to get this done in under a week. So, like, fuck!
Well, I've never been for him to, like, never thought he'd outright just say it. Why don't say, like...
Yeah. Yeah, just in case you hadn't put it together yet, Bradley, who's been doing all this shit to the Miwa family? Who's been orchestrating things behind the scenes?
That was told to us, by the way.
That was... No, Kyousuke-kun, that was your doing? Correct. As long as you've refused to leave that house, the harassment will continue. Yeah, that's why he was so careful in gauging how much Tsubaki trusted him.
But...
You're lying. How? Why? I assure you, this is the truth. If you insist you don't believe me, then I'll arrange for another phone call right this moment. I feel unusually calm for having just betrayed a young girl's trust. Tsubaki once said that my voice changes at times. Yes, times like right now. I suddenly realized that this is one such moment. No. Please, God. Don't do that. It's not like I enjoy coercing people, you know. It hurts to be so cruel. And I really do love you. And your family, too. They calm my heart so much. Your home-cooked meals are delicious. The evening conversation is so relaxing. In all my years, I never realized that sleeping on the floor could be such a positive experience. Taking a bath with Hiroaki has become an everyday occurrence. Then why?
Because the most important thing to Azai Kyousuke is money and power.
Mm-hmm. Everything else is secondary. Tsubaki,
Yes.
her eyes filled with tears, would be crushed by my merciless reply. Money, Tsubaki. Money can give you, me, even your family, more happiness than we could ever need. I don't understand. No, Tsubaki. It's me who doesn't understand you. Pardon? Why won't you move out? Because, you know, we've lived there for so long. It's become precious to us. I looked down at Tsubaki. You lot are causing headaches for a whole lot of people. Pointed my finger at her. In any case, it was your uncle who lent your father that money. That's 50 million yen down the drain. Though I can't say for certain what kind of situation your uncle's in. That's no negligible sum, even to those of us who live quite comfortably. He may have had to go through a lot in order to manage that. Well, yeah, I guess so. If only you would submit to the developers' requests and sell the land. Not only could you repay that debt, you'd even have extra to spare. How precious that house is. How beautiful your memories with it are. Shouldn't you put the greater priority on paying off your debt?
In some ways, it's like Azai, like Kyousuke's more of a monster than Mao.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're both
When
horrible people.
yeah, when you look at it from a certain light, yeah. The way that he manipulated her.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Just stringing her along all this time just to drop this on her. But anyway, what you were gonna say?
Yeah, like, you have Mao who's motivated by revenge, and then you have Kyousuke who's motivated by money and power. They are two sides of the same coin, similar in a lot of ways, but they do have their differences.
They achieve their ends through very different means.
Yes.
Of course, the uncle who loans them the money obviously knew their situation when he made the decision. For Tsubaki's dad, who owns a farm, moving also means losing his business. In other words, the reason why the lender gave them the money in the first place is so that Tsubaki's family could stay on this land. Selling off that land would defeat the purpose, and yeah, their uncle would rightfully be pissed. Right, exactly, Zach. Yet it's just a one-man act. Obviously, this relative does not want to see the Miwa family move. However, I mustn't allow this realization to reach Tsubaki. Don't you find it odd? All the families around you have already moved away. You're the only ones left. Everyone else found money to be more important than their homes, so why is your family so adamant about staying? If only you were willing to move, they'd be able to build hotels there. Plenty of people would pay to stay at these hotels. Everyone profits. And profits create more happy families, like yours. You have a wholesome family. You've never done anything wrong in your entire life. To be honest, I feel horrible for causing you so much suffering, and my guilt triples as your boyfriend. Even so, I beg you, moving out is the best option for everyone. Yeah, indeed, Zach. My voice was warm and sweet, but I kept my head extremely calm. Tsubaki looked at me, then smiled listlessly. I understand what you're saying. You're right. My father is as clueless as I am when it comes to money. He's a really good person, but he can also be very stubborn sometimes. As if she had forgot what she planned to say, Tsubaki took a deep breath. Just want to ask one thing. Well, actually, I'd say it's the one thing that shocked me. Why, Kyousuke-kun? Why did you do such horrible things? How could you possibly order those people to constantly harass us? I was fully prepared for such admonition from Tsubaki. Because this is a necessary evil. What? I can't go into too much detail, but a lot of incidents in the past would have been settled a lot more smoothly if the Yakuza had been involved. Yet since the parties involved refused to resort to such methods, tragedies may have occasionally occurred. Tenants have killed their landlords. Families have been turned out on the street. In general, people have gone through pain which they shouldn't have had to endure. Yakuza involvement in land disputes is hardly out of the ordinary. Gambling and prostitution rings see similar scenarios. When you need something done, but the laws and morals of society limit your actions, it's natural to seek out someone who can settle the situation smoothly. It's just unfortunate that this particular job just so happened to fall upon my shoulders. But, you're such a kind-hearted person, Kyousuke. Say such things at this point. Plus, even if I wanted to move out, it wouldn't matter if my dad says he won't sell. I've already lived alongside your family for a while now. I know that the entire family revolves around you. If you sincerely ask him, your father won't resist for long. This I can guarantee. But yes. Still, I think this is unfair to Dad. He went through so much to borrow the money we needed to keep our house. Are you saying you feel like you're betraying your family? Well, she literally would be. She gave the biggest nod yet. It's time to make my closing arguments. But didn't you tell me that you'd do anything I asked? Yep, she just now realizes the situation that she's in.
It is painful to watch.
It is. I feel so bad for you, Tsubaki. Didn't you say you want to help me? Yeah, but I'll say this as many times as need be. I love you, even when you're obstinate like this. Sure, it gets annoying sometimes, but in the end, it just makes me more and more interested in you. Heck, it's probably why I came to love you. Well, thank you. So I'll ask you once again, Tsubaki. Smiled broadly the last time I asked her this, but my expression this time was most certainly quite different. Here's a trite question for you. Tsubaki seemed to know what I was about to say. What's more important, me or your family?
Oh, I knew he'd say that.
He is really trying to make that point clear, that there's a clear difference between him and her family. Alright, what are you gonna do? So I guess this is sometime later.
Yes.
She probably had some time to mull it over. Neither of us knew when the snow began to fall outside, dancing slowly through the glow of my apartment's blindingly bright lights. Tsubaki did not speak. She kept her head down, probably thinking things through very carefully here. Tears flooded her eyes.
Oh, that's painful.
Say, Tsubaki. She finally raised her head upon hearing my voice. Am I a strange person? I imagine I am. I couldn't blame anyone for despising me.
Soul crushing.
Yeah. Yet, there's still one more thing I don't understand. And what is that? A soft, wispy response trickled from her lips. If you don't have money, you can't do anything no matter how people treat you. Tsubaki lightly shook her head. Courts, hospitals, schools, funerals, weddings, children, all these require money. The way I see it, people are helpless without money. Yet when I say this, I'm always told that my beliefs are wrong, inhuman even. People tell me that money isn't everything, that this way of thinking is simply the arrogance of the rich. What do you think? It is an interesting question to think about. Because, I mean, in a certain respect, in a civilized society, I can't say he's wrong. We just don't think about it that much. Because it's just such a fundamental part of our lives.
This is definitely a battle of morals here, for who believe what is right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's very interesting to watch their different perspectives play off each other like this. I'm very much a fan of opposites attract relationships, so it's part of why I'm glad we chose this one first.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really love this stuff. There was a moment of silence. Tsubaki's eyes opened wide in shock before Azai finally released her stilled tongue. That is the face of horrible realization. That she can't deny the fact that he's right. As ugly as it may be.
The ugly truth.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's also the difference between Tsubaki and Kyousuke, because Kyousuke, all he's known since a child is ugliness.
Yep.
And Tsubaki, she has only known love.
Uh-huh.
And now both of these people are getting finally introduced to, Tsubaki is being introduced to darkness when Kyousuke's doing his best to suppress the light.
Yep. And it's been very interesting to watch how they, react to it and how they, either try to or try to avoid letting it affect their personality. How Kyousuke has been having to suppress those positive feelings that he has because it actually interferes with his job. With the Azai Corporation and Gonzou. Whereas with Tsubaki, it's just flustering and confusing her, pulling her down a path that she did not want to go down.
Yeah.
And just transforming her into a very different person.
Yeah, and she pulled herself out of it once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now Kyousuke's trying to pull her back in after that first time she escaped. I don't understand these things. You must have come to think this way because of the hardships you encountered as a child, right? Alright, Kyousuke-kun. As for what I think... A faint smile and a pair of sad eyes faced me once more. I think it's a crying shame. A shame? Someone like you could help so many people if you wanted to. Are you telling me to donate to charity? I'll be frank, I don't have any money to spare. Why not? I'll go ahead and use this opportunity to tell you this. I have a debt of my own. This debt is what ties me to my foster father's work in the underworld. Debt? Someone as rich as you is in debt? My real father left me with an insurmountable debt. If he couldn't pay it back, isn't it natural that I should do so? She heard this, Tsubaki nodded sadly. I see. So that's your story. That explains the people you sent to follow Hiroaki. You think it's normal for a child to pay for his parents' sins. Am I wrong? I don't know. It's just... I finally know what kind of person you are. After spouting such useless nonsense, Tsubaki slowly let her eyes settle on her feet. And what will you do now that you know what kind of person we are, Tsubaki?
I think she might know.
Yeah, do you think she might have figured it out? Do you think she might have figured it out?
Ooh.
We'll have to wait and see if she's made that realization. Because, if she has made that realization,
especially
then what would happen?
Said, like, go into log, like, what Tsubaki said is, like, so that's your story. You think it's normal for a child to pay for his parents' sins.
Yes.
And then I finally know what kind of person you are. It's like, I think she's now going to put 2 and 2 together in a way that, like, these people are the same. Because she has spoken to Mao more than anyone currently in that we've seen.
Yeah, they have had, multiple person-to-person interactions.
Yes. Let's see.
I'm sorry, Kyousuke-kun. I didn't know. Here I am, calling myself your girlfriend, treating you like family. I don't understand what's happening. Tsubaki's eyes, her expression, her gaze, they bore no hint of hatred or disgust, nor even pity. Your pain, your suffering, I know nothing of it. I just automatically assumed you were a kind-hearted person. I never bothered to understand you. I just made up my own explanation to satisfy myself. I'm so sorry. Again, I no longer feel anything. That's enough. Mustard words as cold as the bitter winter wind. Will you do as I say? You said you'd help me. Now you can do just that.
I think she's made up her mind.
Please, Tsubaki. Tsubaki looked out my massive windows. The snow continued to fall, and Tsubaki continued to stare aimlessly at it. How old were you when you started to live alone with your mom, Kyousuke? What? Why ask this now? I want to know. Who knows? I was probably around 10. Were you lonely? Perhaps. Is your mother doing well? You know full well that she isn't. You seem to be very kind to her, Kyousuke. That's none of your business. Little by little, like the snow falling outside, the nonsensical Q&A slowly came to a halt. What happened after your foster father adopted you? I learned the importance of money. Did he scold you? Was he kind? No. I see. That moment, as if to break the heavy atmosphere in the room, my cell phone rang. Also, what's up, Jay-Z? Good to see ya.
Nice.
Without tearing my gaze from Tsubaki, I put the phone to my ear. Hello? Ah, what can I do for you, Niki-chan? Tsubaki looked taken aback at the sudden bright voice I used. Yeah, you're right. In that case, be sure to keep an eye on him. I'll contact his father very soon. Ah, yeah, obviously. That could be my trump card, you know. I understand. I'll pay well for it. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Our conversation ended, and I put the cell phone back into my pocket. Tsubaki seemed to be waiting for the right time. I'll give you a reply tomorrow. Can it wait until then? Tomorrow? I understand what you're trying to tell me. Please, just give me one day to think it over. Although I feel like it'd be best to get a response now, I could not bring myself to refuse her request. I understand. Tomorrow night, then. I'll bring some people over. Your dad can sign the contract then and there. Maintained my heavy-handed approach. Tsubaki simply nodded meekly. The worst-case scenario, I'll break up with you. Tsubaki could not hide her disappointment. If it comes to that, don't worry about me. Do what you feel you need to do. I mean, after all, you've got that girl Miki-chan, right? Alright, I'm going home. She grabbed her coat from the rack and hurried out the door. Only I remained, both hands covering my head, sitting silently on the sofa. Everything is out in the open now. Body felt tired from my wasted efforts. I have a debt of my own. I need this money. Can no longer turn back now. Yeah, it's me. I returned the call after she left. Sorry to bother you time after time, but there's something I need to know. As for our worst case scenario, that deputy commissioner's son, right, he might be useful in the negotiations. Don't be an idiot. Of course I'm prepared to die. I seem different? Does it really matter? You just don't see me when I'm like this, is all. It'll all be over tomorrow, for better or worse. I should go to bed now. Gripped the phone tightly and reaffirmed my stance to the person on the line. As long as it's for the sake of money, there's no information I won't hesitate to dig up. And the ends always justify the means, no matter how dirty they may be. I'll leave this to you, Miki. Mikimoto. Hearing someone use his full name, my typically lighthearted liaison used a thick, deep voice to respond in a serious manner. Of course. I'll take care of it. To ensure adequate preparation, I gave detailed instructions to Mikimoto. Winter nights are long, their darkness is deep, and they quickly seep into an unsteady heart. Best case scenario? Sure. Here we go.
I have a bad feeling. And, I think my bad feeling just got worse.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, how you feeling now?
I'm not sure I follow, son.
Gonzou summoned me to his estate early the next morning.
Are you saying you finally got around to breaking that bitch of yours?
After explaining how I had manipulated Tsubaki in an attempt to force her family to move, Gonzou was still not convinced.
Is me or Tsubaki your other slave, or isn't she?
She is, to a certain degree. However, Gonzou does not accept such ambiguous answers. I did not expect that he would be such a man that accepts ambiguity. He is a very black and white kind of person, I get the feeling.
Yeah. I hear more than 90,000 people go missing each year.
Sorry?
And those are just the ones reported to the police. The actual number may be many times higher.
I get the feeling that's a thinly veiled threat. What are you talking about?
Tell me, who's your next of kin?
He knows damn well all about my relatives. My mother, or my voice faltered.
Or me. That's all.
Right.
if someone like you, Kyousuke, happened to have an accident, there'd be no one there to care, would there?
Damn, that's dark. Classmates like Aichi and Yusumi come to mind, but I don't have a deep relationship with any of them.
Your teachers at school might, but if they knew that you were a son of a Yakuza boss, they'd probably just stay away from the matter altogether.
What is he trying to say? Have you not figured it out yet? That's a thinly veiled threat, buddy. Like, fuck, dude. He's saying, get your shit together or I'm gonna arrange something for you. And you're not gonna like it. A wrinkle appeared between my eyes as worry and fear overcame me. I asked Gonzou a question. What are you saying, father?
I'm saying that you should leave Japan on a boat and then accidentally fall into the ocean. There'd be no investigation whatsoever.
Yeah, get the point now? His smooth, deep smile was a perfect contrast to his icy cold gaze.
It would probably cost around 3 million yen.
3 million?
That should about cover the boat rental and personnel fees.
In other words, that's what my life is worth.
Pretty expensive, huh? Even I wouldn't want to throw away dough like that.
Gonzou seemed to be fed up with the fact that I've fallen in love with a woman. He's decided to just feed me to the fishes. I won't disappoint you, I swear. I lowered my head. I can't disobey this man. In the end, Tsubaki and I truly do live in two different worlds. I left Gonzou's house defeated. Shit, we haven't been here in a while.
Therapy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That morning, I went to see Dr. Akimoto. It's been so long since I've been here. Yeah, how many episodes ago was it since we were last here? Like 3 or 4, at least?
Like before Mal was revealed?
I think so, yeah. It might have been even longer. As always, the room exudes the same feel of tranquility that blurs your sense of time.
You look rather grave today, Kyousuke-kun.
Dr. Akimoto wore his ever-smiling expression as he handed me a cup of herbal tea.
Let me guess, girl trouble?
Not too far off the mark, I guess. I flashed a bitter smile.
It's a relationship problem. Aren't there better people to talk to?
I don't plan on discussing it with anyone.
Naturally, you've come this far without anyone to discuss matters with. What's one more thing to figure out on your own, right?
You've got some scathing quips today.
Indeed, after much scrutiny, I finally come to the conclusion that you don't have any illnesses that I can cure you of.
In other words, there's no need for me to come? That could be a problem.
Right, we're just wasting time here. Sorry, but I'm not so desperate for cash as to see patients feigning illnesses.
His porcine face swelled up.
Well, as long as you're willing to pay, I wouldn't mind signing a few documents now and then.
You're a good businessman.
No, I can't even begin to compare to your foster father.
This guy is an acquaintance of Gonzou's, after all.
Who's Gonzou-san these days? Same as always.
Yeah. Though he may kill me in the near future.
Same as always, then. No love for his son, huh?
I felt a chill when he mentioned love, and could not respond.
I thought you might have had a personality disorder, but I was wrong. You're simply a pitiful boy like every other kid these days. A lonely child who feels that he cannot trust anyone else in this world.
Is that really the diagnosis of the renowned Dr. Akimoto? Old ladies used to tell me the exact same thing all the time when I was growing up.
I guess I'm not who I used to be anymore.
Oddly enough, Dr. Akimoto began to laugh heartily.
What's your headache been lately? Is it gone?
Now that you mention it, yeah, I haven't had one recently. That is true, those have not been coming up at all the last couple episodes.
It's fantastic, Kyousuke. You know, it's probably all thanks to having a nice girlfriend in your life. You really should thank her.
This man truly can see through the hearts of his patients. I glared at him doubtfully as I pondered how eerie being in a room with him was.
Pleasure, Kyousuke. It's almost impossible to find a girl who could put up with you.
Mind your own business. Goodbye, I said as I left. At the back of my mind, I felt I'd never seen this man again. Right after the door closed, Dr. Akimoto shouted a joke at me.
How about crying in the arms of your girlfriend? And take off that cold mask once in a while. Aren't you about to be killed anyway?
Damn, bro! Gotta give respect to Akimoto for that one. As dark as that was a pretty good one.
Yes. That is like the remark of a man that's just too old to not give a shit anymore.
Yep, a man who is too old and jaded to give a shit anymore.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. Where,
Yeah.
like one point he just went like, "No, if you're not gonna take me seriously, get out." Like,
Yep.
fuck off.
Yep, exactly. That's kind of the vibe I was getting from Dr. Akimoto there.
Hold on, I gotta check something.
Okay.
Like 5 seconds.
Alright. I went home and prepared to go to Tsubaki's house with a few Sonoyama men. Project manager from a company affiliated with the Azai Corporation was going to tag along. The situation is now past the point of no return. We plan to get to the contract on the spot. Tsubaki wouldn't betray me. I mocked myself. My fingers shook out of nervousness. Gonzou will not permit another failure. I'll be signed on board a ship docked at Chiba or Shizuoka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably butchering that. Shizuoka. And accidentally fall into the sea. And then I'll die. This isn't the first time I've received a death threat from Gonzou. Even so, if my life ended here, what would I have accomplished?
I'm back, bitch.
Alright.
Let's do this. What have I missed?
Nothing much. We're just preparing to go over to Tsubaki's house. And a project manager from a company affiliated with Sono is tagging along.
Is it Mr.
So, I guess we'll find out.
Yes.
That would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, this line here. Even so, if my life ended here, what would I have accomplished? There isn't a single true friend or a single family member who cares for me. My life has been marked with distrust and suspicion. I've read my fellow men like books and then flashed fake smiles as I've tallied up the benefits they earned me. The only thing I have to show for myself is money. Yet that is just paper to be taken by Gonzou. What's there to hesitate about at this point? Ground my teeth, lecturing the weak, stupid part of myself. Since I entered Gonzou's care, could not expect any peace in life. Since I sold my soul to the devil of money, could not rely on God's mercy. I've already done so many terrible things. Tsubaki tightly in one arm and inflicted suffering on her family with the other. If I were to die here, it would simply be divine justice. Alright, I'll do it. Become rich and powerful. Powerful enough that I'll never have to bow my head without reason ever again. Ugh. It's back. It's back. My headache suddenly returned after its long absence. For some reason, Dr. Akimoto's joke suddenly popped into my mind. I will submit myself to the devil. If I do that, I'll no longer have to feel anything.
No.
Please don't, dude. No!
Don't submit yourself. He did it.
Time
Mao
quietly
has
passed.
awakened, boys.
Soon we were ready to leave for Tsubaki's house. Snowflakes slowly danced to the ground.
No more problems this time, right, Azai-san?
Several men were already waiting for me outside my apartment's lobby.
I received word from Sano's director, Samir. He said it better to go thorough through this time.
This man, with his wide-set eyes, irritates me like a fly as he walks beside me. Apparently his name is Shibata, and he's from one of the Azai Corporation subsidiary companies. Don't worry, today is the real deal. I took a look around and saw 3 young men sent by Gonzou. All 3 wore similar clothes, dark gray, double-breasted suits. They may be green, but a lot of them have been through Gonzou's rigorous expert training. They kept their mouths shut, quietly following me. With the Sonora contractor's permission, I made the call on my cell phone. After several rings, I heard Tsubaki's voice. I'll be coming over now. I see. Let me speak a bit with your father. Dad went shopping. He's not home right now. Started to get irritated. Don't worry, I'll negotiate with them. Fine. Prepare the deed and all the other necessary documents. We'll do it ourselves. Tsubaki's voice shook upon hearing my dark tone. She gulped. We'll be there soon. Signaled to the people behind me. There's no need. What? A long shadow suddenly appeared beyond a nearby street corner. Just how long has she been waiting there? Tsubaki stood in front of the building. Well, I can certainly say I didn't expect this.
What's gonna happen?
I glanced at the group behind me, and my mouth twitched in anxiety. Hey, Tsubaki. Hello. It almost feels like we haven't seen each other in ages. Seems she hadn't gotten any sleep. She didn't look so good. Why aren't you at school? I left early. I've become a regular troublemaker these days. I originally planned on meeting you at the house. That's kind of a problem. A problem, you say? A problem. She immediately followed up. My little brothers and sisters are home right now. The sight of Tsubaki's face disturbed the expressions of the goons behind me. In other words, she's saying she came here personally in order to shield the kids from these people. Hey, Tsubaki, you understand, don't you? Glanced behind me. This is no longer just about me. There are other people present. You follow? I have no other choice now. I pushed toward her. Feeling scared, Tsubaki retracted a step. You may think I'm repeating myself, but didn't you say you'd help me? How long do you plan to keep me waiting? Scared her with a threatening tone. Tsubaki lowered her head, both her shoulders shaking. Hey, answer me. That moment, a faint sneering laugh came from behind me.
There's no need for that, Azai-san. She's just a cute little girl, isn't she? You don't have to scare her like that.
Giving cute little girls and innocent children a taste of fear is what you hire brutes like us for, isn't it? Gave him a cold stare, and he quickly quieted down. Tsubaki. Heard a weak response. These three guys behind me, they're real Yakuza. They work under one of the most infamous, cold-blooded sons of bitches in the underworld, Azai Gonzou. Azai? She's finally connecting the dots. So, can you still trust me? Can you still call me a kind-hearted person? You should understand by now. You hate me, fear me, right? Yes, I'm so afraid. She let out some incoherent words. Hearing her choking back her tears, the tension slowly sank out of my shoulders. I understand. You let your dad leave so he won't be bothered with this. You are kind, and you made the right decision. Now, do you want your brothers and sisters to see the same things you have? No. I want to end this quickly. I'm sorry, Tsubaki. Since things have come to this, I don't think we can see each other anymore. Just treat your days with me like a nightmare. A nightmare? Yes. And it's time to wake up. Tsubaki's feet made some grinding sound with the pebbles on the street. Looked down at the sound, only to miss the moment she raised her head. You're the one who needs to wake up, Kyousuke-kun! A stream of tears disappeared upon meeting the sun's blinding light. You're not a bad person! I felt a little awkward at Tsubaki's sudden, practically violent outburst. Hey, don't make such noise! In the midst of this quiet residential neighborhood, this scene can only be interpreted as a bunch of guys ganging up on a girl.
Tsubaki's true strength.
Indeed. Awkward feeling from Tsubaki's attitude was only compounded by the gaze of my neighbors. But weren't you really happy? What? Didn't you ask to come to my house? That was just a lie to investigate your property. It wasn't a lie! You looked so happy! You took baths with Hiroaki! There's no point in lying to a child! Even as tears kept flowing down her cheeks, Tsubaki's feet stood firmly in place, as if to block our path.
Master, what is this?
The guy behind me asked impatiently. Make way, Tsubaki. Move! No! Let's go home together! Go home? Let's go home! To where we can all be together. We'll talk together. Eat together.
Could you quiet down, please?
A large man walked up next to me.
The young master told you what kind of people we are, right? It's important for us to save face here. We can't possibly back down.
When faced with such a violent person, even from afar, one can tell that she's shaking. I'm not moving! Jeez. Although I'm scared, I never even knew people like you existed in this world. You're planning on doing bad things, aren't you? You're going to threaten my family, aren't you? The darkly dressed men, facing a girl who could barely hold her ground as is, made a nasty, threatening look. Stay away! Stay away from my house!
Yell all you want, girl, it won't change a thing.
Man, that's just a depressing face to look at.
This is a fucking powerful scene.
It is. Putting that in my pictures folder as oof.
Bruise strength.
Yes. She's been pushed to the brink.
Stand your ground, girl.
I don't care! I'm the eldest child. I'm everyone's big sister. No matter what happens, I have to protect my family. To be honest, it's kind of hard for me to keep my resolve, seeing Tsubaki put forth her all for the sake of her family. But the devil tempts me. This is betrayal. She kept saying that she wanted to help me, but in the end, she only helped me to descend further along the path of ruin. I'll make her step aside, even if I have to resort to violence. Kyousuke-kun, why can't we go back? Why can't we live together? Gonzou's dogs are at the edge of their patience. Even though we're broke, even though the house is a shack, it's where we can all be together. Even I'm feeling irritated at myself. We all see you as family, Kyousuke-kun. Those innocent eyes, filled with tears, deeply wounded my heart. As if she were pulling a bow across a violin's G-string, her sad, choking voice resonated in my heart. Kyousuke-kun, let's go home! Shut up.
Fuck this music.
My ear, my head, everything hurt. Have it your way. Just get out of my sight.
Young master, are you sure?
As I tried to calm my violent urges, I nodded to them.
Got it. I'll tell the boss that we backed off at your instruction.
Something tells me that is not going to be good.
Hold on. Fuck. I'll be back. The only one something stupid.
Okay.
Pause. This is important.
I am just wondering what is going to happen now. Now that he's told them to back off. Are they... Is he still going to get what he needs in order to save face? Or... in the truly insane possibility, is he going to try and leave his life behind? I don't know what he's going to do now. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what he's going to do now. Because in this moment, I mean... If he doesn't get that deed, he's basically signing his own death warrant.
Alright, I'm back. Fucking, let's go. Let's go.
Alright.
Yes.
Sure.
We have a problem here too, Azai-san. This isn't what we agreed on.
We're pulling out of here for now.
Why? Because some girls started bawling?
My whole body quivered. I slowly closed my eyes.
Whatever, this is your stance, then we'll take care of the matter ourselves.
With those scathing words, the last of my entourage left. In their minds, my decision must have made no sense whatsoever. Soon, rumors will begin to spread that the Azai family's kid is hopelessly in love with a girl and has lost his backbone. Still, for some reason, I just can't shut off my feelings. I've been so successful so far at turning off all my emotions, using any means necessary to accomplish the task at hand, but now... Kyousuke-kun, don't look at me! With those flawless, pure eyes that put me at my wit's end. I silently turned around and walked back to my home. I don't want to think about anything anymore. Nevertheless, I could hear Tsubaki's footsteps, following closely behind me. Once inside my apartment, I glanced out the window absent-mindedly. Behind me, I heard Tsubaki taking off her jacket. I avoided her gaze and slowly brought my hands to the console of my stereo system. A smooth felt melody flowed from the furnished speakers, filling the entire room. Air on the G-string.
Oza J.S. Bach.
I sat on the bed and stared at the floor. I could feel Tsubaki watching me, as if lovingly watching over me. Air on the G-string. Right. My favorite piece. It's by the Bach you like so much, right? He wrote the original. Ah. About 100 years after Bach's death, a violinist played the piece using only the G-string. It got a lot of attention. G-string? The thickest violin string, with the lowest sound. That's amazing. Indeed. Naturally, using the other strings as well would be a lot easier. In fact, the version you're hearing right now is one of a million arrangements out there that uses various different instruments and strings. Why do you think he decided to make that kind of arrangement? Who knows? Maybe only a genius would understand such things. That violinist apparently tried to adapt other pieces into solo violin arrangements, too. He must have had some kind of faith in his work. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Zach. Says he just finished watching his work and he thinks it's pretty good.
Nice.
I'll have to check it out later tonight. Faith? Like the faith I had that we would win the hockey game tonight. Which we did, by the way. He must have thought he knew what he was doing. Raised my head to look at Tsubaki. Unlike me. I'm sorry, Kyousuke-kun. Because you betrayed me. Because I couldn't help you. I fell down on my bed, absorbed by the music. I laid awake thinking all last night, and I decided that it really just isn't you, Kyousuke-kun. Isn't me? What, being a Yakuza? That's right. You're too kind, Kyousuke-kun. What did she see in me to decide such a thing? absolutely no idea. Enough about this. This is the end for me. The end? My foster father isn't your average guy. It's probably better if you don't know anything about it. But he's pretty much the most terrifying person in the world. Is that why you're in so much pain? In that instant, I almost accepted her feelings. You really loved being with my family, didn't you, Kyousuke-kun? And she simply looks at me. My heart feels calm. Come home with me. Everyone will welcome you. Such a carefree smile. They call this forcing kindness upon others. I got up and faced Tsubaki once again. Our gazes have met so many times before. Tonight, I feel refreshed. You have it good, Tsubaki. You've no need to distrust others, since you believe everyone is as kind as you are. You never put money first. She interrupted me with a kind smile. Yes, I've realized just how easy I have it. Is that so? Still, I'm also really naive and easily taken advantage of. Yeah, I never would have figured that out. Indeed. So, will you stay by my side? Sweet, melodious words echoed through my ears. Am I not good enough? Are you not satisfied? I remembered Dr. Akimoto's playful suggestion. How about crying in the arms of your girlfriend? Kyousuke-kun, come home to us. You're worn out. You've always worked so hard, always been forced to think only about money. You're at your limit, aren't you? It's better to be fooled than to fool others. I've always written this in my diary. Tsubaki. Closed my eyes, metaphorically locking my heart safely away from Tsubaki's sincerity. If I could've... If only I met this girl earlier... I'm sorry. In reverence of the music, I whispered, let's break up. Huh? Did you not hear me? Our relationship ends here. Tsubaki shook her head dumbfoundedly. No, please don't. Why? You and I exist in two different worlds. Even if we try to be together, I can't imagine it would work out. That's not true. Get out of here. My cold words brought tears to Tsubaki's eyes. I can't change your mind? I have already decided. So that's that? You'll just go back to being your lonely old self? Have you forgotten already? I was the one trying to drive you from your home. But... Goodbye. I walked into the study to shake myself free of those clinging eyes. Kyousuke-kun! I closed the study door behind me. My heart will no longer waver. Tsubaki's tears and screams will no longer cloud my judgment. Tsubaki continued to yell through the door. Please, come home! Come home with me! Air on the G-string began again as my stereo repeated the track. Tsubaki's screams blended with the music. After locking the door, I closed my eyes to escape it all. Pitiful sobs, desperate tears scolded my ears. Hey, Kyousuke-kun, do you hate me or something? Do you hate me because of my hypocrisy? You're in pain, aren't you? It's hard for you, isn't it? Please just talk to me about it. Damn, bro.
You can't just tug on my heartstrings like that.
Well, that answers one of the questions that I had about last night, whether or not she stayed, or whether or not she would go home.
I have a bad feeling.
Oh. Yeah, and now the other question I'm waiting to see answered. What's going to happen now to Kyousuke here?
Where's Tsubaki?
Cold winter chill wiped away any residual warmth from Tsubaki. So she finally went back. Tsubaki had stayed here until morning. She must have just stood here like a statue, crying endlessly. I felt as though all my strength had left me. I had no energy left for anything else. I mindlessly opened my vault. Stacks of bills welcomed me. Evildoer will be an evildoer no matter the situation. My heart quickly settled as I stood there before the money's smell and radiance. Oh boy, who's that? The caller ID showed Tsubaki's name. As I stared at the phone, an image of Tsubaki crying, cell phone in hand, appeared in my mind. Ignoring her plea, I rejected the call. I then proceeded to remove her number from my phone's memory and block her calls and text messages. This way, I'll cut my connection to her cleanly. I should quit school, too. I only went to school to relax in the first place. Of course. None of that is likely to matter now that I've disgraced both the Azai Corporation and the Sonoyama Group. I may be on that rental boat by tonight. Yeah, you don't say.
Yes.
Giving up on all my work, I simply sat in my room. Man, is this what depression feels like?
Yep.
My mind wandered to my childhood. I reminisced about the time I left Mom to follow Gonzou. What thoughts were blazing through my mind as I walked away from that miserable shack I called home? Outwardly, I spoke of repaying my father's debt. Perhaps the truth was that I was just sick of being so goddamn poor. When I became money's slave, I seemed to have lost track of what's important to a normal person. The clock already read 12 midnight. Washed my face to prepare to go out. Just as I finished putting on my coat and reaching for the door, a seemingly perfectly timed guest arrived. Ah, yes. I was wondering when you would show up. I am just bracing myself for what's to come.
Yeah.
I've been dreading this moment. Alright. Here we go. The uninvited guest walked in without even ringing the doorbell. The footfalls of many shoes echoed across the floor. Good evening. I was just about to visit you. Gonzou glared intently at me from the front of the formation.
Kyousuke.
Yes?
Great place you got here.
Thank you.
I'm here to help you move.
To hell, I presume?
What an ugly sight.
A sharp gaze streamed from his eyes. Just do as you will. I slowly put my hands over my knees and sat down with my head slightly lowered. This is the position one takes when one surrenders in the mafia business. Everyone around me narrowed their eyes. Sorry for all the trouble I've caused everyone up to this point. You no longer have to worry about it. Gonzou let out a bestial growl. I'd also like you to know that I've broken off all relations with that woman. I hope to be of more use in the future. And if you see it fit to give me the opportunity, I also hope to become a part of your family someday. Many among them began to holler and shout. Until now, though I have performed work as his son, I've never been an official member of his organization. I just showed the willingness to become a true member of this violence. Some people seemed happy, while I'm sure others were preparing for a power struggle within the group.
Kyousuke,
Yes,
are you serious?
there's no other way. I felt extraordinarily desperate. Like a true slave to money, I have no need to think about anything else anymore. I just need to be a loyal follower. Of course.
I see.
Gonzou was more expressionless than usual.
In that case, you know what you should be doing now, don't you?
He's testing me. What do you mean?
Are you an idiot?
Even before Gonzou finished, he had already grabbed me by the collar. Ugh.
You got a contract to make good on, don't you?
Tsubaki's home.
Light the place up, boy. Burn it to the ground.
Gonzou's ghost-like eyes searched me for any trace of hesitation.
So you gonna do it or not?
Arson? This way, I'll truly be forced into a life of crime. I'll have nowhere else to turn but the family.
You have no right to refuse.
Considering his personality, it's already a huge blessing to be alive right now. Can only harden my resolve. The only thing I have to show for myself is money anyway. I've lived a worthless life, so I have nothing else to lose. I'll go right now.
Let's make this a big event. Roby and Majima will go with you. I'll show up later.
I bowed my head low. I'm sorry, Tsubaki. Close my eyes and leave a quiet apology in my heart. God damn, bro.
Fuck.
This is not going to be cool. This is not going to be pretty. During the day, this is a noisy, bustling park. At night, it's peaceful and quiet. Shadows of men who didn't belong with these surroundings reared their ugly heads here tonight. Gonzou's ruffians and henchmen.
I've been in someone's house and voice since I was a kid.
Even though it's the middle of winter, Ijima is still wearing nothing but an unbuttoned shirt. His stout nipples jiggle at times when he talks. Yeah, because that's a detail I needed to know.
Stout nipples.
Fuck me, dude.
So you're gonna be one of us now. Son, how nice.
The underboss, Horibe, laughed as his false teeth sparkled. Horibe is very cunning, just like a hyena. He'll do anything to the weak, but against an opponent of unknown strength, he'll become cautious. Very brutal, but easily controlled. That's probably why he works for Gonzou. Horibe and Ijima. While I often see these two, I've never met the other two guys. Despite the winter winds, they walked casually into the park.
Let's finish this quickly then.
On the way over, I had stopped the car along Central Boulevard to get a piece of lumber from a dumpster.
So you like to let out a little steam sometimes too, eh, Kyousuke-san?
Ijima took a little stab at the lumber with his foot. Yeah, I've had it up to here already, having to deal with a bunch of livestock every day. I, of course, am one such piece of livestock. That makes 5 dumb animals total on the way to bully Tsubaki's family. Here we are. I'm not sure how many times I've come to this place. Yeah. Get a good long look at this site, everybody. I get the feeling this might be the very last time we see it. This is much worse than what I was expecting.
Let's do this.
The lights are always off early at Tsubaki's house. At this hour, Tsubaki's father, Tsubaki, Hiroaki, they're all probably asleep. Their old house would easily crumble if an earthquake struck. I mindlessly stare at the scene. I stare, trying my best to suppress any sentimental feelings. My feelings for Tsubaki no longer matter.
This was a difficult job for you, son. And it made me wonder what kind of house it was. Lo and behold, it's a piece of crap. Isn't this just some dog kennel?
The derisive laughter flew up into the cold, dark night. That's a good question, Zach. I held my board from the dumpster tightly and walked to the front lawn.
Hey, get out of here. We'll set your house on fire if you don't.
Ijima's forceful din failed to bring any response from inside. Is no one there?
No, son, don't let them fool you. We've come to collect from tons of debtors. Let me tell you, folks use this trick all the time.
Horibe spoke happily, and his 2 sidekicks laughed with him.
Damn straight they do. When people try to pull this on me, I like to toss an industrial-strength bug bomb in the window.
Bugs? They laugh as they compare Tsubaki's family to cockroaches. I'll go see what's going on.
By yourself, son?
After all, it's a life sentence if they catch you actually killing someone.
But it's no big deal if they don't catch you.
I swallowed my bitter smile at Ijima's casual remark. In their minds, it's not a crime if they don't get caught. Exactly, that's the one rule they live by. Don't get caught.
Although the young master's not familiar with our world, he can't help but be a little pathetic, guys.
Horibe mocked me with his know-it-all attitude.
Alright, the rest of us wait here for a little while. Go ahead and say your goodbyes with the princess.
Derisive laughter filled the air again. These guys think I'm just a little runt whose only option is to rely on Gonzou. Since it's the truth, I don't feel offended. I laid the piece of wood down on the lawn and walked toward the front door. I rang the doorbell. No response. After ringing it a few more times, there was still no response. Are they really not home? No, they might still be here. It's possible they're cowering in fear of the Yakuza and hiding inside. These men will probably break the glass, throw a can of gas inside, light up the house. At that moment, I suddenly realized something. Tsubaki once told me how to get in through the back door. I can sneak in through the back. Yep, I knew that knowledge would come in handy someday. Tsubaki? My shout echoed through the house with no response. Went through all the bedrooms. No one was home. Every last one of the members of this noisy family had left the house. As I turned on the light and walked through the living room, I saw something familiar. It was laid clearly on the frequently used dining table. Tsubaki's diary. A question appeared in my mind. Why did she leave her diary, which she always carries around, here? It's almost as if she wanted you to find it.
She did say if something happened to her, she would leave it in a conspicuous place.
Oh, don't remind me. Oh, I just had a horrible thought. Did something happen to her? I reached out for the book, clutched her rather heavy diary. There was no lock. I easily opened it. Strangely enough, I felt no guilt about looking through another person's personal musings. Though I can't say for sure, I seem to remember her giving me permission to read this. Welcome home, Kyousuke. What? It's nothing but a message for me. All the other pages have been taken out. However, I don't understand what she means. It must have shocked you to see no one home. Yep. Well, I called it on one part. She was expecting him to find it.
Yes.
The truth is, we're all staying at my grandma's house by the port. Dad said we wouldn't be safe at the house come nighttime, because that's when the bad people come over. Supposedly, we won't be back for at least a week. They fled across town. It's definitely the correct decision. Since I can't reach you, the only thing I can do is leave this diary behind. Do you remember? I said you can read it if something happens to me. I guess that's a silly question. Still, no matter what happens, I know you'll come here, and when you do, you'll definitely read this diary. She believed I would return here? I rejected her so strongly, yet she still believed in me? After all, Kyousuke, you're family, right? Well, I guess now I know where this came from. God damn. Just as my head was beginning to split in pain, I read something even more incredible. Just a while ago, I talked to Dad about moving out of this house. My reason was, well, it was nothing special. Guess I wanted the compensation money. That's what you call it, right? In any case, it's good to have more money. Of course, I didn't also like being pestered by scary people. After dating you, Kyousuke, I finally understood. Poverty is indeed a terrible thing. So I told Dad that money's more important than anything else. Money? Important? Muttered to myself and read on. It's almost as if he can't believe that she came to this realization.
But it seems like there's something else to it, so let's continue.
Yep. Dad was really surprised. I rarely see him so angry. Mom and Hiroaki reprimanded me too. But I'm not the good girl you thought I was. I mean, look at how mad I got at Haru-chan. And I hit my own brother. The truth is, I do want to wear beautiful clothes, and I'd love to eat at high-class restaurants. I want to have fun like everyone else. So I want that money they're offering. My allowance could go up if we sold that place. If you're tired of me like this, Kyousuke, then it can't be helped if we break up. No. I don't care what other people think. These can't be Tsubaki's true feelings. Honestly, I kind of like this. Seeing a bit of her darker side. Tsubaki's just trying to help me. She sees I have no way out. In order to protect me, she gave up her home. Dude, come on. Why? Ground my teeth. Why? Why do you want to save me? Why would you continue to love someone who used you and fed your family to monstrous beasts? The Tsubaki in this diary makes no sense! Well, have you ever thought of this, mate? Love doesn't make any sense. Look where I'm at! Does this make any sense to anybody from the outside? No, it fucking doesn't!
No.
But here I am.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, dude. Diary of Tsubaki is just like those selfish, indifferent women you see every day along Central Boulevard. Why? Continued my interrogation of the ether, desperately pleading for an answer. Mom and Dad still don't intend to move away, but I think they'll give in soon. Because, for some reason, I feel they'll go along with my selfish behavior. Surely a kind person wouldn't manipulate her parents like this. Anyway, don't worry about anything. My whole family trusts me. It was then that I realized it. Tsubaki had never told them the truth. She never told her family about my relationship with the Yakuza. She doesn't want to hurt the family who had trusted me. Furthermore, even more importantly, Tsubaki hadn't written a single word about trying to save me. She's only playing the role of a bad girl for my sake. Could someone ever call that hypocrisy? I was amazed at my blindness, no, stupidity, for thinking that Tsubaki was a twisted hypocrite. I was the only twisted one here. My warped mind had caused me to create illusionary malice in those around me, to believe others held evil intentions which they never had. The end, though. Tsubaki's still Tsubaki, huh? She made up one of her pitiful lies to protect me. Maybe if you keep practicing, you'll be able to fool someone someday. My trembling hands flipped through the pages of the diary until I reached the last page. I love you, Kyousuke. You may think I'm too persistent, but let's live together. Let's all live happily together. My whole family loves you so much. I'll be waiting. Everyone. We'll all be mating. Or waiting. Fuck.
Mating.
Tsubaki. Period.
Fuck.
It hurts so much. Oh, Jesus, dude. Can't just do this to me like this. Tsubaki. Can't just do this. Fuck me, dude. I closed the diary and simply sat there on the floor. This was the living room, where I often chatted with Tsubaki after a bath. I've spent the night here many times. How many times have I bitched about the stupid, jovial atmosphere here in this room? I took out my cell phone and called my informant, Mikimoto. Hey, it's me. Yeah. You understand why I called at this hour, right? Take care of it.
You certainly took your time, son.
Horibe and the other guys were still waiting outside.
I have a weird feeling that he's taken his side.
Mm-hmm.
Patience has its limits, you know.
The cold wind brushed across my burning face. It was a pleasant feeling.
So, is anyone home?
No. Horibe licked his lips.
So they scooted off from their crappy house. Well, what are we waiting for? Start by breaking the windows. Should be hell for them this cold weather.
With a sly smile, Ijima headed for their front door. Stared at Ijima's large head from behind. Stop. I picked up the board from the grass.
Oh, what did you say?
Before he could turn around, I used all my strength to conk him square in the back of the head. Felt as if I were hitting a piece of metal. For a brief moment, even my waist hurt. A gong-like sound rang out. Ujima lay silently on the ground. The nasty smiles of the other men quickly soured. Horibe's face showed more confusion than surprise.
You can't just go doing that now.
In an instant, a strange gleam appeared in his eyes. The eyes of a sadist.
Family, right? You think you can just get away from hitting a brother like that?
Of course, I don't expect forgiveness. People who use violence can't be seen as weak enough to lose any scuffle. As of this moment, I'm in a fight with the 10,000 plus member Suwa Alliance.
Apologize now before things get out of hand. If you're quick about it, I might be satisfied with beating you half to death.
Horibe and the other guys fanned out, surrounding me.
I see now. Now I know why the boss asked me to come.
I also understand why, in this cold winter weather, Gonzou sent his right-hand man rather than a couple grunts.
Seeing as how we'll be working together in the future, I guess he decided to put me in charge of your education.
Again, his mouth curved up.
Hey guys, we need to give the master here a special lecture. Don't you agree, Jima?
I looked at the ground in surprise. Although I don't place much faith in my upper body strength, I still hit him with the intent to kill. Yet Ijima casually, slowly got up like a ghost. Blood dripped down from the back of his head, staining his white shirt.
Look, ain't you, son? You order us around so much like your little pawns that you can't help but think little of us. Is that it?
Horibe is absolutely correct. I'm too naive. I didn't know there were people who could take a heavy blow to the head and still get up unfazed.
I'll kill you.
An unknown fear arose in my chest. What the hell am I doing? These guys are professionals at violence. Spent all my time plotting in the shadows. How could I possibly win against them in a fight? Nevertheless, I just can't control my emotions.
Does that girl really have you wrapped so tightly around her little finger?
He walked closer with a savage smile on his face.
That shithole more important than us?
Horibe questioned my reasoning behind this rebellion.
Son, you've received so much from your foster father, this is how you even repay him?
At this solitary sentence, the trembling sphere in my mind stilled itself and went mute. Tsubaki learned enough from me. Maybe it's time I take a lesson from her. From the girl who tried to save me without saying a word. These hypocrites, with their babbling about repaying favors, at the very least. This has nothing to do with women, you fucking scumbags. Throwing out lies as transparent as Tsubaki's, I gripped the piece of lumber tightly. Go look in a mirror. Take a nice, hard look at those ugly fucking mugs of yours. Damn, I guess we're gonna be left to speculate about what happened after that. Nothing good, I imagine.
Anyway, mate, I'm gonna have to say sorry here, because I gotta end this soon.
Alright, Do we want to leave things here then?
Yeah.
Alright. Kind of an abrupt spot to end, but good enough since we just switched perspectives. Just feels a little weird ending in the middle of a day, but it is what it is.
I know, but like, I haven't got much play here.
Yep, I understand, mate. I understand. Right about 2 hours flat. We just passed the 2 hour mark.
Jeez, like what a fucking like.
Mm-hmm.
What a turn! Our boy has absorbed the light.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And he's actually taking a stand. So I'll be very curious to see how this goes for him the next time we see him.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck. Ending off on Tsubaki's perspective.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Monica Dev? Came in right at the end. Sorry you had to jump in so close to when we were about to sign off, but
yeah,
Caleb here, he's got other plans, so we're cutting it a little short tonight. But yeah, despite how short this one was, a lot happened.
Oh yeah.
More than I expected, I'll be frank.
Oh yeah.
Alright, well, we'll just have to see where this goes next time, because I'll be thinking about Kyousuke's fate until we can fire this up again.
Well, it should, like, it'll have to be over the weekend, but like past the weekend, like next week, but yeah.
Alright, Monday would work for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm off again on Monday. Monday is Halloween, though. So...
yeah. I'm also...
it would probably be part of, like, a big Halloween stream, although I'll have to check to see if there's a hockey game on... I don't think there is, because we play both Saturday and Sunday, so there won't be any game to watch on Monday.
Tuesday, so maybe.
Alright, well, we'll get it figured out.
Yep. Alright, mate. Alright, guys. Catches.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been an absolute thrill ride, this series. So, yeah, hope you guys stick around for part 12.
Part 12, yeah.
So, yeah. And, as for what I'll be doing the rest of the night, since I still have some time, I might do a viewing party for the latest episode of Sansi Boy's thing that he's been working on with Zach. And then maybe fire up balloons for a little while. I don't know. I'll think about it. But yeah, until next time, take care.